Hey guys, very good morning and welcome to a new daily market outlook. So today's market outlook is going to be all about the dollar index alongside the major dollar pairs. So some interesting moves last week, as we did predict that DXY was going to fall all the way to 91.880. So let's see if this week can be just as successful, and let's get some good trades in. So with that said, let's dive straight in. So to begin with, of course, the DXY, the dollar index. For me, the dollar index is looking good for a pullback back up in towards 92.518. So we've had quite the overextended move back down in towards the lows. The dollar for me is very bearish, and it looks very bearish because on the daily we have broken any form of structure that we had. We have created a new lower low in comparison to all these higher lows. So with that said, daily is looking good to be bearish and drop further. 4 hours is also looking good and looking bearish to drop further. So for me, I am bearish on the dollar, and I still expect further downside, at least all the way back down in towards 90.675. At the moment, I am looking for a pullback back up in towards 92.518 to then go further short back down in towards the lows, because after this massive move in towards the downside, I am expecting a pullback back up. The beauty of these zones can really be seen over here, because as you guys know, in the community on Discord, we did call 91.880. And at the end of the day, it just simply comes down to identifying areas of supply and demand within the market. And as you can see, identifying this area of demand, we can perfectly time any potential reversal within the market. So looking at the DXY at the moment, just waiting for that push higher to then go short from around the 92.5 region. So with that said, let's head over to Aussie dollar. And Aussie dollar perfectly respected the ascending wedge slash channel, whatever you want to call it. So as you guys know, from here we did expect that we were going to see further downside, and as we can see, that did happen. So ascending channels and wedges are essentially bearish, so we could still see a further decline in price. However, we do have areas of strong demand down below over here, these two gray zones. So looking at the daily is very bearish at the moment. As you guys can see, we don't have really any signs of bullish momentum coming in. We also closed on Friday with a bearish engulfing. Current market structure is becoming very consolidative, as you can see, and it could just consolidate further if the market wanted to. What we could see is maybe a little push lower, then a push up, because there is an area of supply within the market situated over here. From there, we could then potentially start shorting the market further back down in towards the lows. Because if we go all the way down to the weekly time frame, what you can then see is that we do have an area of weekly demand situated over here at around 0.715. So on the weekly, there is still room to go lower. However, looking at the daily, it does look good for a potential larger overall pullback, because the overall market on Aussie dollar and the overall market structure, what I mean more to say is that we have this massive overextend move in towards lows, so it would be good for the market to start pushing up higher, especially from this area of demand. However, the overall outlook on the Australian dollar is bearish due to the military assisting in all COVID operations within Australia and especially Sydney, from what I understand from the news. So the news and the fundamentals behind the Australian dollar aren't looking very bullish. However, the fundamentals behind the dollar also aren't looking very bullish, so therefore it's going to be a little bit of a war between the bulls and the bears on this pair, in my opinion. I'm not expecting much, and at the moment I'm just really going to be waiting. For me, it's just a waiting game on Aussie dollar, to be honest. This is going to be our potential sell zone, and from down over here we could see some potential buys if we do see a nice price pattern form. So that is it for Aussie dollar. Let's head over to Euro dollar. And Euro dollar, so Euro dollar broke finally all the way up in towards the highs very strongly. We've been waiting for this move for such a long time. As you guys know, we had, of course, this descending channel slash wedge from where we've been waiting to go long on Euro dollar for such a long time. Sadly, I didn't personally get in, but I know some guys are still in, and Euro dollar is still looking pretty good, in my opinion, to move up higher. Quickly going towards the daily, what we can see on the daily is that we have broken this lower high, so I am bullish on Euro dollar. Structure wise, also bearish on the DXY slash dollar index, so therefore automatically I am also bullish on Euro dollar. For today, I am expecting still a little bit of a further pullback. We have already made a pullback to 0.382, So yeah, essentially from here we could start impulsing already back up in towards the highs. However, in my opinion, yeah, a little bit more of a pullback or a stronger pullback would be very healthy for this pair after this massive move. Maybe even to come down and fill this wick a little bit over here. So something like this would really be a joy to my eyes if I were to see this. So yeah, that is it for euro dollar, to be honest. Just waiting for a further pullback before going long on this pair. If the pullback doesn't come, I guess it doesn't come and it will just go, but I'm not going to FOMO into this trade at all. Just waiting for a price pattern to form, potentially a little bit of a deeper pullback to then get in. Yep. So that is it for euro dollar. Let's head over to pound dollar. And pound dollar. So pound dollar on the daily looking fantastic. We predicted this drop pretty well because, as you guys know, on the 4-hour we did have this ascending channel. Let me just quickly draw it in. This ascending channel, and I did expect it to break. So we did break out after the double top on the 1-hour. Over here we had the double top. So current structure on the 1-hour is bearish and looking good for further downside. 4-hour is still bullish in my opinion, but yeah, we are going to be looking for a further pullback. This zone already, which I have drawn on from 1.37683, does look the best for pullback. However, it has already been filled partially over here. So yeah, we don't have to come back down that low. We could already, let's say for instance, start faking out over here on this low at around 1.38428. But it's going to be a big game between the bulls and the bears. Looking at the 1-hour at the moment, I am expecting a pullback a little bit higher, at least in towards this zone at 1.39350 / 1.39607, from where I will start looking for some shorts further in towards the downside, because I do expect a further pullback, especially also if you look at the daily. Daily is very overextended. The daily is now bullish, but I am looking for a retest of the descending trend line on the daily, and potentially, of course, still towards that zone at 1.37683. So that is it for pound dollar. Maybe just a little bit of a push up higher today, before then finally seeing that real drop back down to then start looking for longs once again. So yeah, that is it for pound dollar. Oh, excuse me. It does need to make that retracement back up higher, but it would be very favorable. So I hope you guys understand my pound dollar bias. Let's head over to Kiwi dollar. And Kiwi dollar is probably the most messy pair of them all. Looking at the moment, on the 4-hour we are bullish. We have created a new higher high over here in comparison to this high, so we can start looking for longs on this pair. Looking at the daily quickly, you'll just see that the current market structure is very consolidative, so not a big fan of analyzing that. Going to the 1-hour, the 1-hour is also not really that clear in my opinion. We are situated within this area of liquidity over here from where we are reacting, so we could start moving back up in towards the highs from this level. Going back towards the 4-hour or even the daily is looking good for a push higher in my opinion, and that mainly just has to do with the fact that we've had this overextended move in towards the downside, and after that squeezing correction in towards the lows, right? So that descending correction, not an ascending correction but a descending correction, and therefore it does look good to push up higher. And my long-term sell zone is situated over here at 0.71782. So that is it for Kiwi dollar. Let's head over to our last pair, which is gold. And gold, so gold, perfect. As we can see, we expected that drop from this zone perfectly. So some guys made some massive profits. Really proud of you guys if you took it. So at the moment, gold is looking to come down still a little bit lower. Looking at the daily, daily made this perfect double top, which isn't necessarily a bullish sign. Also, I would have preferred if the daily could have taken out this swing high over here, because therefore, the structure would have been a little bit different, more bullish in my opinion. For now, it just looked like a double top, and a little bit less bullish than I would have wanted it to look like. However, 4-hour structure is very clear bullish at the moment. And we're just mirroring the entire move that we made all the way back up. So at the moment, I do expect gold to push down in towards 1802. From there, expect some deceleration, and that is like the position that we're going to start looking for any potential reversal signs from the market. This is a very strong zone for deceleration, so let's look how we react in that zone. and let's see what price wants to do from there. Because if we do start forming a nice reversal pattern in here, we could start looking for longs back up in towards the highs. But for gold, it's just a waiting game at the moment. So yeah, that is it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions whatsoever, make sure to contact me through Discord. Link is in the description down below. Also, always feel free to follow me on Instagram and ask questions over there. If you're looking for a broker or for my trading platform, link is also in the description down below. Have an amazing day and speak to you guys very soon. Thanks, guys.